Oh, how the weeks go by. It is Flatbread Friday all over again. And today I had so much fun. I made a pumpkin pizza and it was so cool. And the pumpkin part comes in, I made sort of a sauce out of pumpkin. I caramelized some onions, mixed in some canned pumpkin, a little bit of pumpkin spices and a tiny little bit of sugar, thinned it out with some milk. And then I spread that on a pizza crust and I topped it with arugula, grilled chicken, onions, and baked it in the oven till it was nice and brown and bubbly. And then I fried some sage leaves from my garden. And when the pizza was finished, I crumbled those fried sage leaves all over the top of the pizza. And it was freaking fantastic. I hate to say freaking on that. In fact, it's right behind me, so I'm going to show you. I always have trouble focusing, but look at that baby. So it was fun to make, fun to do, and in a season when it's all things pumpkin, we can now add pumpkin pizza. So happy Flatbread Friday and have a great weekend. We're going to start with a sweet onion that we're going to slice into slices. I'm going to take some butter and put it in a skillet that's over medium-low heat, and we're going to add to that some olive oil. And when that butter is melted and the mixture is bubbly, we're going to add our sliced onions. We're going to give them a little seasonings of salt and pepper. And we're going to cook those onions low and slow for about 45 minutes, stirring occasionally. And they're going to get soft and softer. And now we're going to add in a little bit of chopped garlic. Some fresh thyme. And we're going to stir that into our onions and continue to caramelize them. They will be very soft and slightly browned and caramelized. And to those caramelized onions and thyme and garlic, we're going to add 1 can of pumpkin puree. And we're going to stir that mixture together to blend it well. Look how orange that pumpkin is. And we're going to, if you have some pumpkin pie spice in the house, you can use that. I didn't have any, so I did cinnamon and some nutmeg, a little pinch of cloves, and a tiny little spoonful of sugar, and stir those seasonings into the pumpkin onion mixture. We're going to thin the mixture out with a little bit of milk. I use 2%. You can use regular milk, whole milk, half and half, whatever you want. And stir it up. It should be about the texture of a thick red sauce, because this is going to be our sauce. And Throw in a little Parmesan cheese. Stir it in till it gets melty. And remove it from the heat. And set that aside, because that is going to be our pizza sauce. So I got another one of those poppin' fresh pizza doughs and popped it open. You spray a baking sheet with some non-stick cooking spray, and you're going to form your crust on that sheet. Press it to make sure it's evenly, it's not thick in one place and thin in another. And we're going to take that, I crimped up the edges a little bit to make a crust, and we're going to par bake that for 8 minutes until it's lightly browned. And now comes the pumpkin mixture. We're going to spread that all over our crust. And we're going to make a cheese blend with some smoked Gouda, or just regular Gouda, and some Gruyere. A little bit of nuttiness there. And we're going to shred that. There it is. Now we're going to sprinkle that all over our pumpkin mixture. In a nice even layer. And I had some baby arugula leaves, so I decided to toss those on. And some grilled chicken. Or you can use any cooked chicken, if you have some leftover rotisserie chicken or something, just dice that up and use that. And spread that evenly all over the crust as well. And a little more sweet onion. And we're going to dice this one instead of slice it. I'm going to sprinkle that all over the pizza. And now we're going to bake it at 425 for about 15 minutes. Until it's nicely browned. And you should smell this thing. It smells so good. And I have some sage in my garden, so I picked some sage leaves. And put a little olive oil in a pan and over medium heat. And I fried them. It takes about 30 seconds aside to fry those. You don't want them to turn brown or black. You just want to make them crispy. Drain them on some paper towels when you're done. One lone leaf. There's a bunch. And now we're going to crumble those with our fingers all over our pizza. Gives it a nice saginess, a nice fall flavor with the pumpkin and the sage. And we're going to slice it and serve it and eat it. And man, it was delicious.